Hi, Dan van den Burg with Never Enough Strats with my first Masterbuilt custom shop guitar in my hands. And what a special one this is. 1954, of course, was the year that the Fender Stratocaster saw the first light of day, when it was born, you could say. And after that, in the first 3 years, there was a lot of small alterations to the Stratocaster, and they say that the 1957 Strat was actually the one that everybody wanted to have, and still is the one that everybody wanted to have. Same as with the 60 Strat, that the 62 is the pinnacle of the Fender Stratocaster in the 60s. So what do I have in my hands? It is a 1957 replica made by Jason Smith in collaboration with George Fullerton. So maybe these names do not mean a lot to you, but George Fullerton started with the Fender company in 1948, so that's even before the Telecaster was made. And he was the right-hand man of Leo Fender. Together they designed the Fender Stratocaster. This actual guitar and all the ones behind me came from the ideas and the hands of Leo Fender and George Fullerton. And in 2007, George Fullerton came back to Fender to work on, with a number of master builders, to work on this 57 reissue, because then it was the 50th anniversary of the 1957 Strat. So I'm holding in my hands a guitar that was totally hand-built by just Jason Smith, one of the master builders of Fender. And the fun thing about Jason Smith is that he is the son of Dan Smith. So Dan Smith was was the marketing director of Fender in the late 70s, and was one of management that took over Fender in 1985. And of course you have the Dan Smith Stratocaster that was launched in 1982, which was the first Stratocaster that had the small headstock again. So Dan Smith helped the father of Jason Smith to preserve the fact that Fender and the Stratocaster are still here. Well, what can I say about the guitar, next to the fact that it's a marvelous playing guitar, marvelous looking guitar. They replicated a 57 Strat, so it has a soft V-neck, which actually quite comfortable. I have some other 57 custom shop Strats, like for instance this one, I think. Yeah, this one is the California Beach 57, and the necks are a bit thicker. I like this one. It plays really nice. Two-tone Sunburst, of course, one-ply pickguard, 57 Strat voiced pickups, hand-wound by Abigail Ybarra, which was already there in 57 working for Fender. All the specs, of course, are up to par. And the great thing is they have made these in a limited release, as they call it. There is also on my website a short clip where Mike Eldred, director of the Fender custom shop, talks about this guitar, and he says that there were only 100 of these made, so it's really a limited edition. There is a 5-way switch in here. One of the previous owners put it in. There's also a 3-way switch that's coming with this guitar. And when they sold these guitars, there was also a matching Blues Junior Pro amp with it. But that's not accompanying this guitar anymore. And I can imagine, of course, that, well, it's a nice thought to also provide a small amp with it, but if you buy this guitar, you probably have your own amp that you are addicted to already. All the specs are, of course, vintage, so no tone control for the bridge pickup, which still sounds nice and jangly spangly. Well, not much more to say, I think, about this guitar. All the specs you can find on my website. Of course, Never Enough Strats. masterwinder.com. Let's hear what it sounds like. So I just play a G chord and I do some simple noodling to make sure that you can hear what this guitar sounds like, instead of letting somebody play that's really good and you're like, wow, this is a great guitar. But if you're not that great of a guitar player, you can probably outplay me and even make this guitar sound better than it already does. All right, without further ado, G chord, neck position on the guitar. Wow. Second position, neck, middle pickup. It's the, of course, we have to do the John Mayer test. Wow, flying colors. G chord, of course. Middle pickup. Fourth position, middle and bridge pickup. Finally, bridge pickup. All right. One more thing left to do is to see what happens when we put it on the gain channel. Neck pickup. Bridge pickup. That's it. 1957 limited release. I don't know if that's something else than limited edition, but it sounds nice. Limited release. Jason Smith Masterbuilt guitar in collaboration with George Fullerton. Great guitar. I hope for you, if you think, well, this is my dream guitar, that it's still available on neverenoughstrats.com. And if not, there are other great guitars for you to check out. So, bye-bye.